Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our show, Keeping the Wealth, a show dedicated to helping successful people who want to stay successful today, tomorrow, and long into the future. Hillary is my co-host. Hillary, thank you for stopping by. And Aya is here from South Carolina, and which is a great place because taxes are lower and people are happier. Aya, do you have a bunch of people homeless on the streets out there?
No, actually haven't seen any.
I'm gonna send some.
Nice.
No, thank you. It's fine. San Francisco can keep them. It's okay. California, all of California, it's okay.
Well, Hillary has Greyhound bus tickets for everyone, and we're gonna send like 40 people over there tonight. Can you share some key strategies for wealthy individuals to preserve and grow their wealth, even wealth through commercial real estate investments?
Yeah. You definitely want to look at investments that are income producing, right? So these are properties that are income producing with stable cash flows and long-term appreciation potential. So what I would recommend, and this is not legal advice, so I don't recommend it, but diversifying across different product types or property types, and also looking at the market and seeing which one has the potential to maximize your returns. That would definitely help in preserving and growing wealth through commercial real estate.
In your experience, what are some common mistakes wealthy individuals make when investing in commercial real estate, and how can they avoid them?
Yeah, so I think the biggest mistake that a lot of investments, or at least new investors that come in, that may be bypassing, is the due diligence period. Some just kind of see the numbers and they're like, all right, this is perfect. I'll buy it right here, right now, no due diligence. It depends on the property type, or it really all depends on that. So it's very crucial for the individual to, understand commercial real estate. What are the short-term, long-term type of gains, and avoid leveraging or over leveraging properties. And so, as well as staying informed in the markets. If you don't really understand the market and its potential, that could be an investment mistake that you didn't even predict because you didn't do your due diligence. So it very much matters to do your due diligence.
Do your homework.
So due diligence is the key. So it depends on the investment that you purchase, and also the location.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Location very much matters. Actually, I was talking to an agent about last year at a different state, not ours. And he was basically saying that the population is decreasing every year at that location. So in the commercial real estate, when you're investing in properties, you definitely want more growth, or the potential for more growth in that area, because then that helps solidify your investment and what you've invested in. That also helps in affects and impacts your appreciation over time.
What role does diversification play in a wealthy individual's commercial real estate portfolio, and how can they effectively diversify their investments?
So diversifying your product types definitely helps. I mentioned in the past, I work with a business partner who's been doing commercial real estate for 37 years. And when he first went in as an agent, he was specializing only on multifamily products or product types. And often over the years, he has noticed that his sellers no longer wanted to, sell their property and then continue purchasing more multifamily. And so that's where the diversification came in. And he said, well, what about taking your equity and your return and investing it in something else like retail instead? So that's diversifying. And I think knowing and understanding the game of commercial real estate, or not even the game, but just the investment, matters a lot, because that gives you the ability to really understand how each product or property type is so unique to its own in its own way. It impacts the community in its own way. And if you can understand the numbers of that and the impact of that, you have a really you can diversify and increase the potential for long-term gains.
Got it.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Profit, profit, profit.
That's right.
So how can a wealthy individual leverage commercial real estate to maximize tax liability and maximize the returns?
Yeah, so what they could be doing, the tax advantages for investors is including depreciation deductions of the building. So if this is an office building, it depreciates over time. You have capital gains deferral through 1031 exchanges. So essentially, when you're selling a property, you can actually buy through the 1031 exchange, buy a similar product type. And also ability to actually offset some passive losses against your other income. So there's different ways for leveraging that, the tax efficiency and tax advantages in commercial real estate.
What are some emerging trends or opportunities in the commercial real estate market that wealthy individuals should be aware of?
So we all know the tech is booming. I don't know if anybody got the memo. But yes, so thinking about that and the impact technology is making, in the previous podcast episode that I did with the gyms, Java with the gyms, I mentioned that retail and industrial are booming, right? And so with technology, we've got a lot of industrial demand in there. And again, this is not legal advice. This is just more of an observation because they need to store those batteries. I don't know, I'm not a tech person, but the data that they're collecting on us, shameless plug right there. Yeah, they need industrial warehouses for those batteries. And so those are some of the trends that I have picked up on personally. But then we're also, the shift with the pandemic, right? The office shift is also kind of emerging and creating its own trend. And so what I'm seeing, at least on the office side, is co-working spaces, a lot of community-focused co-working spaces. That's another growing demand, as well as sustainable and environmentally friendly properties. So people are starting to be more conscious in commercial real estate, which is pretty nice.
Very nice. So how important is due diligence when investing in commercial real estate, and what specific factors should the wealthy investor consider during this process?
So due diligence, as I mentioned earlier, it's very crucial. It's critical in all real estate, but commercial specifically, because you're investing to assess the financial, the legal, the physical aspects of the property before making a purchase. And so again, this due diligence process can look in many different ways. Like you can look into market conditions, property condition, tenant quality. So really understanding who the tenants are in that commercial building. What are the lease terms? So what are the zoning regulations for that property? You also, if it's a gas station, for example, you're going to want to do environmental risks. And again, as a city overall, or even just the neighborhood, what's the potential for that future growth of that neighborhood, of that city, of that community? So that's all of the due diligence that you have to do as an investor when you go into commercial real estate. It sounds like a lot, but it's also very fun if you know what you're doing. So very important to educate yourself.
And that's why somebody should call somebody like yourself, Aya, because not only you, but your entire team knows what they're doing. What about the concept of passive income generation through commercial real estate investments, and it's significant for wealthy individuals?
Yeah, so there's a lot of potential in commercial real estate to generate passive income. And so that all comes from those rental incomes from the tenants, right? Again, that's part of the due diligence. You want to understand who are the tenants, because they're the ones that will be paying you the monthly rent that you're charging them. So you can achieve that passive income by really understanding what those income producing properties look like. And you can do that through an office building, retail centers, industrial warehouses, multifamily apartments. The only income producing that you may there's not a high potential, but there is an opportunity is land for lease. But again, understanding what the market is that what the market is demanding, land for lease? Because if you're investing in land, that's a long-term hold. Again, it's up to you as the investor if that's what you want to do, but that's a long-term hold because you just don't know. There's just so much to play with. I'm sorry. I can go off on my own tangent here, but yes, best thing to do is contact me and let's have a chat because I love talking about commercial real estate.
Very nice.
Yeah.
What are some alternative investment strategy within the commercial real estate sector that can help wealthy individuals achieve their financial goals?
Yeah, so there's different types of investing in real estate, like the REITs or real estate investment trusts, private equity funds, crowdfunding platforms, and you can even do syndications. So each of them provide their own strategies on how to invest in real estate. And yeah, it's different ways to actually get into commercial real estate. You can do it with a group of people that you trust your money with and invest in a property type that actually is income producing. It has a lot of potential value.
Now
Thank you.
there's sometimes there's economic downturns and market volatility. How do you help your clients, your wealthy individuals, navigate through these tough times?
Yeah, so looking into considering, right, like the underwriting standards, what type of loans did they take? Is this something that a lender can come in and help them with? Looking into the lease potential, so renegotiating leases to retain tenants, that's another one that you can definitely do as an investor. Seeing other distressed opportunities, so distressed properties that you could maybe potentially flip. So it really depends on the market, right? The market that you're investing in, and it matters a lot when you can understand the market, do the due diligence, because that will help you, navigate the economic downturn. Like right now, the last 4 years, nationwide we had an economic downturn, right? But yet here in South Carolina, in the Charleston area, the economy is booming.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
might have to.
Yeah. And the crazy part is I'm speaking, I get the privilege to speak to some California agents. One agent lives about a couple of hours from Fresno. So I understand she lives in the desert of California. She's like, it's dead. There's no business in real estate in California. And I'm like, whoa, we're busy here. Yeah, people just want to move here. Georgia's booming, South Carolina's booming, North Carolina, Tennessee, Florida. Yeah. So it's just very interesting. It's very interesting to observe it and to also be a part of it.
Lastly, what advice would you give to the wealthy individual looking to start or expand their commercial real estate portfolio for long-term wealth preservation and growth?
Yeah, so I think, again, due diligence, right? Doing your market research, understanding where you are investing. Where do you want to invest? Why do you want to invest there? There are times where I'll hear like, oh, we're doing this because that's what we were taught. Okay. You may have attended a course, an online course, but that doesn't mean that that's where the buck ends for you to stop learning, because you paid $1,000 or $20,000 or whatever amount that you paid for a course. That doesn't mean that you know everything about the business. Instead, that means the door is open and you have to learn more about this business, because that means there's a potential of different types of income producing properties from different property types. So best thing to do is get in touch with an advisor who has a wealth of experience so that they can educate you and actually be the consultant because they look at the numbers, they see what's out in the market, they understand the market and how it's working, especially the ones who have been in the area for a really long time, who have the experience, who understand how commercial real estate works. You want to go in with the trusted advisor. So a lot of times that's a realtor. All of us, advisors, consultants, we all have a real estate experience, realtor license. I'm sorry, my phone's talking to me. That's weird.
Well,
So-
maybe it's somebody that's trying to do their due diligence, or they are calling you to do a 1031 exchange. Who knows? They need you.
Thank you so much, Aya. I learned a lot today, and I'm looking forward to get some advice for myself or for my client from California that like to move from California to North Carolina and other area that you are expert on. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
Probably,
thank you for
you're in several states, right? It's South Carolina and Georgia and
Tennessee and California.
that's wonderful. Okay, well,
Very nice.
yeah, Hillary and I, we control all of California,
Love it.
and
That's right.
yeah, we're gonna
You
be
tell them, Jim.
yeah, yeah. Don't be get off of my cloud. Okay, cool. All right, we're gonna see you guys again next time for another exciting episode. Thank you very much. See you guys.